Embrace constructive criticism. Beget nothing but more doubts, and then afterwards do not look behind. An Arab poet said, "If you are of sound judgment, show resolution, for ill judgment is in hesitation. Showing courage in making decisions can save you from anxiety and confusion. And when the matter is resolved on, then if they had been true to Allah, it would have been better for you." He wrote his book in Human's Life. As a physician, I am a prominent of work as a remedy for those who suffer from nervousness that results from doubts, fears, and indecisiveness. Work inspires bravery. It was self-confidence that made Emerson so superb. Then when the Friday congregational prayer is finished, you may disperse through the land and seek the bounty of Allah by working. Perhaps the secret of depression is in allowing yourself to have time for superfluous thought, especially in whether you are happy or not. Don't allow such thoughts to creep into your mind. Rather, you should remain steadfast in working. When you apply yourself to a serious task, your blood will begin to circulate and your mind will be spurred into action. You will find that your new life has quickly been removed of anxiety and worrisome. Thoughts work and do so on a continual basis, for this is the most inexpensive remedy available on the face of the earth, and the most effective. And say, O Muhammad, do deeds, Allah will see your deeds, and so will his messenger and the believers. And a wise saying of the Arabs goes, "Life is too short to make it even shorter through disputes." He, Allah, will say, "What number of years did you stay on earth?" They will say, "We stayed a day or part of a day." Ask of those who keep account. He, Allah, will say, "You stayed not but a little, if you had only known." Most rumors are baseless. General George, known for his subjugation of the native Indians, wrote the following on page 77 of his famous journal. Almost all of the misery and anxiety of the Indians originates from their imagination and not from reality. They think that every cry is against them. Had they marched out with you, they would have added to you nothing except disorder, and they would have hurried about in your midst, spreading corruption and sowing sedition among you. Professor Hobbs of Columbia University said, "Either there is or there isn't a remedy for a given problem. If a remedy does exist for a specific problem, find it, and if not, then don't bother yourself about it." And in an authentic hadith, the Prophet said, "Allah has not sent down a sickness except that he has also sent down for it a cure. He knows it who knows it, and he is ignorant of it who is ignorant of it. So even if the most famous doctor is ignorant of it, it still exists. Gentleness averts confrontations, A Japanese teacher said to his pupils, to bow is to be like the willow, and to not return force is to be like the oak tree. And in a hadith, the Prophet said, the believer is like the green plant, the wind blows it to the left and to the right. The wise person is like water, for water does not crash into a rock, trying to pass through it. Instead, it comes to it from the left and from the right, from above and from below. In another hadith, the Prophet, blessings and peace be upon him, said, the believer is like a camel whose reins are on its nose. If it were made to kneel on a rock, it would do so. Yesterday will never return. In order that you may not be sad over matters that you fail to get. Adam said to Moses, may peace be upon them, do you blame me for that which Allah had decreed upon me 40 years before he created me? Concerning this last saying, the Prophet said Adam overcame Musa in his arguments. Adam overcame Musa in his arguments. Adam overcame Musa in his arguments. Search for happiness inside of you, and not around you or outside of you. The prolific English poet Milton said, verily, the mind on its own is capable of transforming paradise into hell, and hell into paradise. The one who is talented suffers because of his unbalanced genius while he is rich. Meanwhile, the ignorant one is poor, and yet he is smiling. This life does not deserve our grief, Napoleon exclaimed in St. Helena. I have not known even 6 happy days in my whole life, the Caliph Hisham. I have attempted to recall and enumerate the number of happy days in my life, and I have found them to be 13 in total. And his father would often repine and say, would that I had never become the Caliph. The eminent preacher Ibn Samak once visited Harun. The latter felt thirsty and asked for water to drink. O ruler of the faithful, if you were refused this drink, would you bargain for it with half of your empire? He said, yes. When he finished drinking it, followed up with another question. If due to some sickness you were unable to discharge this drink through urine, would you pay half of your empire's wealth to be able to remove it from your body? He answered yes. Therefore there is no good in a kingdom that is not even equal to a drink of water. The whole world and whatever is in it has no value, weight, or meaning if it is devoid of faith. When faith is lost, then so is peace, and there is no life for the one who is not enlivened by religion. Whoever is pleased with a life bereft of faith has made total ruin to be life's substance. Emerson concluded his essay on self-reliance with the following: political triumph, increase in weight, a cure to your sickness, or a return to happy days. These all seem to loom for you